You are listening to DropTent Media Network.
Welcome to the cast, dude. Today we got hilarious friend Paul Carson. Paul, how we doing, baby?
Doing all right. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. Earlier, my dog attacked me and fucking farted on my chest. I felt blessed.
That seems like an interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting Pokemon move. Like if that was like the super. Like what was? How did that even? Was it a spinning fart? I don't get it.
Well, I was on my bed and she just jumped on top of me.
Did you pay her?
Dude, I do feel like I got to steal.
Did you get her? Yeah. How many treats is that?
Oh, let me tell you, she was being a very good girl. That does warrant a treat. I call her Neener, so now I've transitioned to Neenus, and now it's Neenus the brown furry penis. And I'm the only one who likes that. Everyone else fucking hates it.
I bet you Neeners likes it.
Yeah, I'm like, Neenus, the brown furry penis. And then her tail starts going. Like, let's go, dude.
The family hates it.
Yeah, and I've told some friends about it. They're like, that's horrible. And I'm like, yeah, you don't see it.
You're not certain.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nah, I got nothing.
Okay, my sister has been kind of like campaigning my parents to get a dog this whole like quarantine time, and they're not on it. But she suggested names, and one of them that like seems very popular throughout our whole family has been Ballsack. I just think that would be. I think that would be a fun name to call. Like, here, Ballsack, come here.
Yeah. And then the dog is like, please call me Balls.
Everybody's on board with my mom right now. My dad is totally on board.
What kind of campaign did your sister run? Was it like a dirty one, or was it like a bunch of propaganda? What kind of? Did she like give speeches, put up posters, shake babies?
All that, dude. Shake. She shook so many babies, dude.
She's like, look, I'd take care of this dog. Watch. Shake it.
What actually happens when you shake a baby? Does it get like a little concussion because the brain is just sloshing around in there?
It becomes Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, destined for greatness. Just a little twitchy weirdo.
If you shake, what they should do, they should make like those magic 8 balls. Instead of it being a magic 8 ball, just have like the top of the head, like, or like show its third eye, have that be see-through. So that way you can just pretend you're shaking little baby hippies and be like, is this baby dead? And all of them say yes. Like, so whatever. Will this baby have shaken baby syndrome? Yes.
Will we get this dog? And then eventually it doesn't work. You're like, it's broken, dude.
You just have to know which question to ask it. Just anything yes.
Yeah. Damn, if you shake them out, we just found out if you shake babies hard enough, they could see the future.
See, that's why everyone says that they're crazy, but it turns out they're just scientists.
They're just seeing something we don't.
Absolutely. So if you take anything from this so far, shake a baby.
I'll tell you the future.
Shake that baby.
Yeah, future is probably looking grim, though. It's probably going to look like inside of a jail cell. It depends who you shake the baby in front of. You can't just shake babies in front of whoever you want anymore. It's not it's not like how it used to be.
Well, now breastfeeding in public's all right, so hopefully we're moving in the right direction.
Just like women's, like, they can start like throwing babies from tit to tit, like, yo, I'm open. And just like, you gotta throw the baby. It's like a whole different type of sport.
The baby's just flying through the air, just like.
Yeah, there's another woman that just gave birth, and she's like, go long. She's like, I got milk tits, and she runs, and then like the baby like knows it's also playing, so it's basically kind of like the golden snitch that it knows like what to do, but instead of like the golden snitch tries not to get caught, the baby's like, I gotta get my mouth on that fucking nipple in order to score a touchdown.
Yeah,
I
the
never
baby
watched
has.
any-
Oh, sorry.
I never watched any XFL games, but I'm pretty sure that we're kind of talking about what that is right now.
Nah, dude, I put heavy money in the XFL games, and you're right. I did steal that idea. That's what was happening. It was just a bunch of people
Throwing babies at tits.
throwing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're like, yo, in this league, you can do the double pass.
Yeah. Stiff arm, but it's our other tit. Because
Yeah, the whole baby just becomes stiff because it has brain damage.
nah, these are athletic babies. Come on.
100%.
On the old kid skin.
Yeah.
The kids can. Yes, yeah.
Man. No, speaking of damaged baby, I was drinking. I didn't know this until I knew it, and then I was like, oh shit. I was drinking with a pregnant girl recently.
Oh, she was drinking as well.
Yes, and I didn't know. It was actually one of the casts that we went to do, and it didn't end up working. And then I was like, my sister and everyone left, and then like one of her friends was drinking with me, and then like she comes back, she's like, she's like pregnant. I'm like, how the fuck would I know that?
Damn.
That's
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just picture when like the mom's drinking while pregnant, the baby's just in the womb with like a disco ball, just like.
this yeah, she was drinking for two.
Yeah.
Like she was.
Yeah, drinking for two.
Yeah, she was still thinking about it, but that was like the kind of way she was drinking about it was like more like she was leaning towards the abortion.
Okay, I mean, how pregnant was she?
I mean, under the radar. So I don't know if that's just because of her body type or because she was not showing it. But I don't think the baby will be visiting Earth.
Good for her, dude. I wish I was like that. So sometimes I feel like just drinking
specifically
without a baby, I'm being judged. And she doesn't give a shit.
You wish you had more. Oh, you wish you had less judgment. Well, no, she didn't know. No, she thought she was like she didn't know that I knew. Like she knew like my sister knew.
Right.
But that was as far.
So you're just trying to get in like a sneaky little drink with Cody, or like?
I don't get it. I felt like I'm like, what the fuck? Now I feel like I did something wrong, but I didn't know. I was like, basically like, you want to, I'll get you a beer. Like I got her a beer, like.
Yeah, you're an accessory, dude. The formula's on your hands.
I mean, at a certain point, like I'm not just gonna let like she had a few before, and like it was like she already had finished one and was smoking a cigarette. So last thing I'm thinking is like, should I get two, one for the baby? I was like, no, this is her.
Yeah, maybe she's like trying to help the baby out. Like she's like, yo, I'm trying to give this baby Nikki 6 fucking blood.
Rob, that's not the situation. That's not what she's doing. You know that.
Come on, man. Come on.
You said like, what if it's not like that? And you know it. Okay?
Yo, you know
you just get on your podcast and you podcast all whatever you want to podcast about, and there's babies out here getting drunk and you don't give a fuck, dude.
Listen, the cruise is chock full of silver linings, dude.
I don't even know what that means. I watched the movie and I was so confused. I don't get the expression. Sorry,
Wow.
I'm getting real emotional these days.
Was the movie Silver Linings Playbook that you're referencing, or the Dirt? What was the thing with? Wait, was Nikki 6 Guns N' Roses or?
Yeah, he was Motley Crue.
Motley Crue, yeah. Did you guys see that thing, the Dirt?
I did.
They did a lot of sex to ladies.
Yeah, they were, dude. I want to read Nikki 6's book. That Motley Crue is so nuts. Like they ran out of heroin, so they filled the syringe with Jack Daniels and just injected that.
What happens when you do that?
I guess it just hits your system quicker. I mean, they're all alive, shockingly.
Yeah, really.
Oh man, I feel like that can't be you can't survive if you do that. I feel like that would kill you. I feel like that would kill you for sure.
Dude, I romanticized that whole time because like Motley Crue, like Guns N' Roses and all that shit. came up in LA, like playing the Whiskey A Go Go. And I got to play the Whiskey A Go Go, and I was so excited because I love those times and shit like that. And it's so lame now. It's still a cool venue, but it's just like not the same. Like it was just like a bunch of like people's parents and friends there. Like I pictured people just getting blown just in the back and just crazy shit. Nothing like that.
I did that at BP&T though, so that's still it's not. I'm not saying that's a nice place. Yeah, it's weird how some like venues kind of just like their shine just wears off.
Yeah, I mean,
like Dangerfield. Like I don't know if it's. I mean, every time I've been there, it's been like kind of depressing there. It's like but also I was only there on like Wednesdays and Mondays.
Yeah.
What made Whiskey A Go Go a bummer?
I guess. Yeah, it just wasn't that romanticized era that I was hoping it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And
like
you're just
head in the back.
And you're just a romantic.
Yeah, and it was just like me and just like these other nerds just chilling in the green room. People were drinking water. I did but the Roxy was fucking sick. Like that's like another one of those venues on Sunset, I think it is, and that was dope because they had the Rainbow Bar next to it where like Lemmy used to drink all the time, and like I sat in a seat, and then we played the show, and I was hanging out with it was my band, the band we were touring with, and then the guy who played the principal in Saved by the Bell.
What the fuck?
It was so sick. I was like, this is what I was looking for.
Why him?
Because the band we were touring with is from LA, and I guess they just knew him, and he was just hanging out.
It had to be one of their dads or something. Wait, was he fucking one of them? Was he fucking one of them? Was he?
No, that they were just boys. It was weird.
So was he fucking one of them?
Yeah, I mean,
I hope
boys,
so.
Boy,
They've been bad and sent to the principal's office.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yo, Paul, what was the worst thing you ever did in like high school? Like ever get in trouble for?
This was back in middle school. It was I went ding dong ditching with some people, and it was me and 3 other people who shall remain nameless, but we went and we just did like one house, and me and one friend stayed at like on the sidewalk while 2 ran up, and instead of ringing the doorbell, they knocked on this really expensive stained glass window, and it made a really loud cracking noise, and we went down the street and just hung out at the next door neighbor's house, and the cops came and were like, "Hey, did you guys do this? Because it was definitely you guys." And we're like, "No, we're so sorry, and we didn't do it." And sat in the back of the car for a little bit while people peeked in and were like, "Yeah, that was them." So but nothing came of it, so it's all good.
That's fun high school tomfoolery. Dude, I can fit. Dude, if you got a mugshot, that would be just the coolest thing.
Dude. That would be, yeah. Your hair's getting a little longer than you usually than I've ever seen it before. But when it's back to like shaved level, you in a lineup, that would be pretty badass.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know that you could grow your hair.
Oh yeah, it was.
Rob's so confused that someone would choose this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Why do you want this?
I went undercover.
That's what I thought, dude.
Wow.
It was literally just because, like, in college, I wanted to sleep as late as possible, and if I had long hair, I would have to wake up 5 minutes earlier to like comb it or put on a hat or something. So like, it just total laziness. So, but now I don't have to do that, which is nice.
That's such a tight reason.
At some point, if you get it long enough, it works the same way.
Oh yeah, you just not worry about it.
Yeah, but it smells like shit. Like if you campfires will just live. Like if you go to a campfire, it just lives in your hair for like 2 showers. You're like, oh god,
you can't even get it out after 1. Damn.
No, that's because I just don't shower. I count 2 showers as 1. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Rob, where's your face, dude?
What? Oh wait, I gotta time this. I always forget to time these. But yeah, I mean, every time you take a shower, it must be like a dog just ran in the rain.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Well, dude, it just stays like wet for so long. We've been over hair temperatures before.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did
I miss that.
Wait, what?
I don't even know, dude.
So Paul, you graduated, right?
Yeah.
Yo, how does it feel? I'm so jealous.
It feels this. Oh yeah, you're still in it. It feels kind of the same right now, just because like I was supposed to, like this weekend I was supposed to go and actually like walk for graduation, but now I'm just here. So they sent me the thing in the mail and it's over.
Yeah.
How does it feel to like just? It's kind of like a yeah.
Yeah.
Does it kind of feel like what's it called? Like
Anticlimactic a little bit.
Yeah.
No climaxes, dude.
Yeah, they just fucking jerked you off for a few years.
How was your college experience? Did you fucking wild out or?
I did the opposite. I was just I didn't drink until like literally I turned 21. For some reason, I don't know why.
It's the law.
Yeah, yeah. I guess so. It was a very tame college experience. Just a lot of time in the library, which is yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to you. Did you like procrastinate, or were you like, I'm studying on a schedule?
I procrastinated. I was a naughty little boy.
Oh, dude. I'm in the same boat. I like won't study for a midterm unless it's the night before and just pull an all-nighter and want to kill myself.
Mike went flaccid.
What?
Your mic went flaccid for a second.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying. Me too. Yeah, dude. I'm a commuter student, and I have the option to walk at graduation, but it would just be weird because it's just all these people that I don't really talk to. It's just like. Like even people I'm in a class with, even if I'm in a group with them, I don't really talk to them.
You should just do one around your house, because like why does anyone give a shit about the other kids? Just do a lab wear thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just make it quick.
Don't wear anything.
All right.
Why not that?
Just fucking tattoo my my degree on my cock, dude, and then when I get hard, you get to see my credentials.
It's at the tip, so like it'll like rise up, and then you'll just like it'll be like a sign or like just hanging.
Yeah.
Job interviews are gonna be weird.
Yeah, they're like, so what makes you qualified? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna need you to get your tits out for me to answer that.
Dude.
Bro.
Take out those tits, dude.
Listen, sir, I'm gonna need you to get those fucking areolas out.
It's the only way this is gonna happen.
Yeah, dude. One thing I'm not stoked on is job interviews. I did a few interviews for my internship, and it just feels weird doing like that business speak.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we lost Cody. Oh, there
Go
you go.
Zach.
Like, hey, Bob, how the hell are you? Thanks for talking to me.
Yeah.
Do you have the microphone when you do the job interviews?
I should. Yeah, I would feel a little more comfortable just having something to do with my hands. I just gotta be like this, and I'll feel genuinely exhausted after like a 15-minute interview because it takes so much for me not to like say piss or something like that.
Where's that energy going that's exhausting you? Like where? Like are you like tapping your foot? You're like this like don't say piss, don't say piss, don't say.
It's just like, have you ever like hung out with someone and like you didn't even like do anything that crazy, but you just feel mentally exhausted afterwards?
Yeah, it's like the silence. Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. Like it takes effort to hold in certain things, like not saying piss. You're right.
Yeah. And sometimes social interactions for me are like exhausting. Like sometimes if I like go out to a gathering, I genuinely feel like I'm clocking in.
Right, like not telling someone to shut the fuck up. like when they should be, and they've earned it. That's like, oh man, I need a nap. After that.
Yeah, and like having to like be engaging about something that like I don't really care about at all. I'm like, yo, can we just like talk about like our cocks or something fun?
Yeah, let's sword fight me right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's always like this little dance when you're meeting someone new where it's kind of like chicken where you're waiting for someone to be like a human being, and then you're like, oh, thank God. And then you could just be yourself.
Right.
Aren't you starting like a new thing where you're like writing songs for people or something?
I applied to be a songwriter. I haven't heard anything back yet, but we'll see. That would be dope.
Write Paul a song.
Yeah, write me a song, dude.
right on the spot.
I don't think I could do better than the Silly Boy Fun Time intro. That's like the best intro of all time.
Yeah, it plagues my mind when I clean.
Ha! Gotcha.
Silly Boy Fun Time. I'm gonna date your mom.
I always replace those words with rape. It's fun.
It's
fun for an aggressive Paul.
Yeah, different strokes, as they say.
They sure are, Rob. They sure are different strokes.
I did appreciate the choice for date your mom.
Oh yeah. I was gonna use copyright music, and then I found out like the day before you're not allowed to do that. So I just downloaded some like little app on my phone, and I was like, oh shit, this needs words before I can make this like little piano thing work. So I was like, okay, fuck, I have like 20 minutes before I have to start uploading stuff. I was like, okay, I'm gonna date your mom and kiss your dad or whatever, and just I'm gonna marry your family. So listen to the podcast.
That's very well thrown together.
It's a cute threat.
I like that.
I like that too. Yeah, but what made you want to do 15 minutes?
Just I didn't want to waste people's time pretty much, and like I knew like as a single person, like one person doing it, I couldn't have like a conversation, so it would just be like pointless rambling. So I figured if I could condense it all into 15 minutes, it would be less of a waste of time for people pretty much.
Gotcha.
We love wasting people's time.
Let's go, dude. Let's fucking go.
But you guys have like conversations and shit. Like it's not just my bullshit where I'm like, oh, but what if Hitler had abs or something? Like it's actually like a conversation with substance.
Some say that. Some opinions vary.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you appreciate dudes like Bill Burr who just like rant for like an hour and people just love it.
Yeah.
That's such a crazy skill. Like I remember the first time I really did like a real podcast was Matt and Shane's, and you don't realize how fucking gifted they are at that till you're like in the room with them, and like how much of a skill that is to just keep going.
Right, and just like be able to bullshit and keep it flowing and not do too many Asian slurs or whatever. Like,
yeah,
the right amount to get you SNL and the right amount to cake it away.
Right, that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's like when that type of art I can relate to like cooking. That's when you like have like a really weird type of style of food of some sort. Is like I would have probably not have.
That maybe Chinese.
They're just two grade A hibachi chefs over there.
Exactly. I'm doing my it's exhausting because I want to just make a bat joke and I know I'm not gonna.
Well,
and I'm holding it in, and I know, and now I know what you're talking. I'm exhausted now.
Yeah.
Piss.
Piss. I was thinking, you know, when people are pissed, like back in the day, they used to say I'm fucking ticked. I'm trying to bring ticked back. Ticked is good.
I like peeved.
Yeah, peeved. Yeah, ticked is like very dad angry.
Real ticked off.
You know what? I'm just ticked. But I know some people grew up with like angry dads being like afraid of their dad. I never experienced that. Like I never had my dad really yell at me. It was always more like my mom was the disciplinarian, and then my dad was just kind of like.
My dad usually didn't, but he would like fucking like he once grabbed me by the shirt. I cut like a chunk of my sister's hair off. So he grabbed me by the shirt and like just took me upstairs to my room by my shirt. And apparently my legs were just dangling like this. So I got called Peter Pan legs for about like the rest of since I still get called that sometimes.
You got them pee-pee legs.
Sweet.
Little pee-pee legs, dude.
That's right, dude.
Wait,
never like.
Did your dad start that nickname or like just like?
I don't know. I guess it was whoever. I think it was probably like my mom or my sister. Just like his legs were dangling like Peter Pan. I think because Peter Pan was on TV, so it's not like they're creative. They were just like, oh, that's that. Oh, Peter Pan.
Yeah. Like it could have been another channel. They're like, oh, Cody's got National Geographic legs. Oh, Cody, sweet Letterman legs, dickwad.
The murder. Do they televise Murder Ball?
Murder ball?
Murder Ball. That's the basketball with the wheelchairs.
Oh,
It's like, oh, he's got real murder ball legs. That was what my dad taped me to a chair and brought me upstairs like that.
yeah.
That was a much more psychological type of punishment. He's like, get in this wheelchair, and just hit me in, and then pushed me upstairs.
Yeah,
And
he
was
chops
like
a leg off. He's like, you lost your bipedal privileges.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Can you imagine if that's how intense humans were as parents?
Wait, sorry. Yeah, you kind of broke up there for me.
If you were that, like, if parents were that intense, like that was a normal thing, be like, yo, all right, I own you, so I get to choose your limbs. Some of them got to go if you're not going to listen.
I mean, dude, some places in the world are like that. I saw this one video that was fucked up. Like this dude,
What, like New York?
This dude, that
Is New
De
York
Blasio is just like, hey, give me that pinky.
I gotcha. No, seriously, I got it. Really.
I saw a video of like this dude in this village fucked like the not the king, like I don't know, like someone important's daughter or wife or something like that, and then they cut his dick off while the whole village watched.
Can you find that on Pornhub?
No, I think there's a paywall to it on Bang Bros.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's the exclusive.
They did that like in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah,
That kind of punishes them. Like,
yeah, like who's getting? Oh, but they free. Did you have to pay? Did you have to buy tickets for that? Like, I got my dick chopping off tickets. You ready to go
I think it was more of a GoFundMe thing. It's like you can donate if you want, but
did they card people back then? Were there kids there? Like, were they like, hey, are you 18? They were like, we don't even have IDs yet.
They're like, hey, are you 18? They're just like,
get in here.
Like, yeah, they're like, all right. Yeah, we don't have a good form of communication, so I guess that means yes. So come on in.
It is funny. I saw this this clip of like this like white British dude. He went into like this African tribe.
Oscar
Sitting around a fire.
Pistorius.
They went around this fire, and then the guys, the dude in the tribe's getting a little hostile, and the British guy's getting very nervous.
Oh.
And then the guy just stands up, just starts shitting in his hand, and he just starts throwing it, and he's like, "We have to get out of here," and they just start running.
Oh my god, dude! He shit in his own hand and threw it at him. He was a human being. That guy was a human.
Yeah, it was a human being that did that, which is like,
what was the consistency of the poo?
I couldn't see, like, the video quality wasn't amazing.
What do you mean? Was it solid or liquid? Do you know this? Do you know that?
It was solid. It was solid.
Oh.
Yeah.
That means he really pushed for that. Like, he's like, he summoned a turd. And,
Yeah.
or do you think that's perfect timing?
You know what? Like, I got the vibe that this guy does this.
Like, he knows how to. He knows, or do you think maybe that's like part of his defense? Like, that's part of his defense. He always has one log in. Like,
Yeah.
I got a log, because like they're always throwing spears and such. So like poop spears too, just in case they're like, I need to throw a disrespectful arrow, not an actual murder one.
Right.
Fucking Kenny Loggins.
Yo, can you imagine that's what his name is, like Chief Kenny Loggins? And that's where Kenny Loggins got his name from. Because
Kenny Loggins was the dude.
he had a bad fucking set one day, and it was there, and that dude pegged a fucking turd right in his face. But like as a spear, so like he didn't throw it sideways. It was like a speared turd that smushed and the velocity of the smush kept smushing and adding radius to the smush around his face because he threw it so hard with such precision.
Cody, I feel like you know how I don't know if I said this before, but it reminded me of this analogy. You know how like kids sometimes when they're getting tutored in math, they get taught math in like M&Ms.
Yeah.
I feel like you learned physics with shit. They're like, so
how
if
you can
you
tell the age of a tree with the rings. It's like, how fast was it going? It went this wide on
Yo, honestly, if that's how they taught, like, I don't understand. They should have schools like that. If you're like built around that's what you're interested in, like that's what you're interested in, they should have a school. It's like, hey, this is comedy. Like everything's gonna be. We'll teach you actual shit. Like that. Those would be the equations. You know, they'd write out like a word problem, like how much, like if the radius of this, what's the velocity of how hard was the shit thrown.
right.
I would pay attention in every class if every problem was like a joke.
Yeah.
And then they could have one for like suicidal people. They're like, how many pills? What if it's 10 milligrams of this in each pill?
Right.
How many of these pills would it take? They'd obviously give them.
Now,
so, like,
how much time does Billy have to get to the hospital?
I can't afford to get this question wrong.
and also, yes, people like also there's certain students that need to be put into real life situations for them to actually prevail. So it's like I don't get it, and then someone just slices somebody's like, how do you get it? He's like, oh, I fucking get it, and he has to figure it out. Otherwise, this class it should just be an intense school where it like someone like they just specifically know how to teach each individual kid to the core.
100%.
What they did in that African village, dude. That's how they taught them. Just shove shit in their forehead, chop off their wieners.
Man, they're so much more further along than we are in just different aspects.
So you fuck the king's daughter. Now how many dicks do you have? I remember watching Harry Potter, and I was like, damn, I wish school was like this, dude. I want to learn how to defend myself against the dark arts.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about music class during Halloween, like for the month of October.
How so? What do you mean?
It was we just like sang spooky fucking songs like Have You Seen the Ghost of John? And like,
shit!
You would just like, Have you seen the ghost of John? Yeah, that whole. I'm not gonna sing it for you. We'll put it on that. Put it at the end for the viewers.
I remember we had to sing that in second grade, and it creeped me the fuck out because my music teacher had like a cane that was made out of like a deer's hoof or some shit.
Right.
Was that just a thing that they did? Wait, did you have that too?
Yeah, she had like a fucking skull. Like it was like it reminded me of Harry Potter because she would tap on the thing and they all would wear like cloaks and shit. I don't know if I'm making that up, but that's what I remember now. So that's
Some
what's in my
Eyes Wide
memory.
Shut shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's weird that they both did that.
Yeah. Shoot. That's
Monster
fucking
Mash.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a big fan of Monster Mash. I played that the beginning of each mic on repeat for the Flying W for almost 2 years straight.
It was a graveyard smash.
Dude, honestly, like no song, it's got everything, dude. You know?
It really does. That dude's voice rocks.
Yeah, dude, it's soulful. It's playful. It's everything you want in a man. Like a 700-year-old man.
I wish I had that voice. I want everyone's voice but mine.
Really?
Yeah, like
Yeah. You're a singer though.
I know. I know.
What are you just like? Oh fuck!
Well, even with singing, I was like, damn, I wish I had John Mayer's voice. That would be sick.
Oh God, if you had John Mayer's voice, I'd hate you so much.
Your body is a wonderland.
You kind of do have John Mayer's voice. I hate you.
A little bit. Dude, I tried to copy him for so long. I always fantasize John Mayer writing "Your Body Is a Wonderland" with an open robe next to like a fireplace, and like writing it with a feather and ink. And he writes the last word, and he looks at his dick. He's like, "Yo, dude, you're gonna see the world, man." Like it.
You do a lot of fantasizing. Paul, do you fantasize?
Yeah, do you fantasize?
Yeah, what do you fantasize about, dude?
All about John Mayer.
Yo, what do you fantasize about?
John Mayer, his dick's a feather. Kenny Loggins is there eating shit.
I think Paul has been taken by the quarantine. I'm starting to think this isn't Paul, dude.
I've been in Africa, dude. I haven't heard of any cases in Africa, so I went there.
I have AIDS, but I don't know if I have corona, so that's good.
That's true.
It's better than for certain knowing.
Yeah, over there they're like quarantining. What the fuck, dude? The world is my house. Where do I go?
Yeah.
Life sucks there for them.
Yeah, life is definitely trash over there. I'm not saying they're shithole countries or anything like that, but I think they're happier. But I'm like, yo, I'd rather have Twitter and be depressed than have that.
Yeah, it's weird looking on the other side of things. Like, I bet you, like, oh, you know what? During quarantine, you know how everyone used to say like they would love to be a dog. Like, I wish I was a fucking dog. You know, now they're basically like a dog because you can't go out really, but they're even more privileged than an actual dog though, and everyone fucking hates quarantine. So I'm like, so technically everyone that said you wouldn't be a dog but hate quarantine are fucking liars.
So you're saying people, I see what you're saying. So people in third world countries are just a little bit better than dogs. I hear you loud and clear. Say no more, dude.
If that's where people are gonna go with it, I'm not gonna stop them. I said what I said. I won't agree or disagree to what you said.
You know what's great about America compared to like third world countries though? Food. It tastes so good.
Yeah.
You guys
dude.
know we.
Yeah, dude, we so know it. Food is good, dude. What's you guys' favorite foods? I don't care about your foods. My favorite food is I like bats. Shit.
Oh. Yeah.
Said it wasn't.
You know what I think is sick? Putting water on slides. Yo, I'm not thirsty. Like, just put that extra shit on the slide. I'm trying to have fun, dude.
Yo, yeah, you slip up a slide though. Come on, that's good.
What?
I don't poop if my toilet water's dirty, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I like.
What am I supposed to sit above a smell and just come?
Yeah,
I
dude.
need clean water, at least a gallon.
I can't shit without my squatty potty, dude. I want to sit on a throne and have something to prop my legs up.
I just wait until someone is in my area, and then I shit in my hand and I throw it at them so that they leave.
Ooh, fun.
I learned it from this.
That's why you have Tinder. You're looking for hot singles in your area to throw shit at.
I thought you were, that's what you were calling the shit for a second. Like, oh, I got a hot single in my hand right now.
I'm like Cupid, but instead of arrows, it's poop.
Yeah. And then instead of being in love, you just hate the person you're looking at first.
No, maybe you just have to throw shit on, or no, you go shit on them.
Wait.
So I'll throw the poop and I'll hit them in the heart, right?
Yeah.
And then the first person they look at, they'll go shit on their chest.
That person is like, oh, that dude's my poopentine now.
So we got poopy balls and poopentine.
Yeah, something about Paul makes me just want to talk poop.
Paul just gives a real shitty vibe, you know. It's like not even a bad thing. It's just like this guy gives off a real shit vibe, you know?
Fucking labia minora, dude.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hell yeah, dude.
I forgot the last cast we did was around Hanukkah, so
that's right. Yeah, we're killing all the holidays, which we're not near one now, so fuck. Shouldn't have said that. That's bad podcasting.
Eat a nice Christmas goose. Oh yeah, speaking of geese though, what was that video that you had of like a goose killing another goose?
Yeah, so you know, there's a bunch of just animal crime. I also saw a squirrel fall off a tree tonight. It's been wild. There's been a wild animal watching since this quarantine. But yeah, it's all goose on goose attack. They just fight each other around Kings Grant. Geese are the trash birds in our community, to the point where our like the person our township was like, hey, if you see goose eggs, you can smash those, go ahead and just like stomp those out, please. So that's how we treat geese around here. They're real trash ass birds.
Dude, in Germany it was weird. Like, it's weird what is like impressive to one person isn't to another. The zoo in Hamburg had Canadian geese in it, just like as an animal that people would go and see.
Oh yeah, because I guess they don't have geese there otherwise.
I guess it was weird, but like I got to feel all superior. Like, this isn't shit to me. Like,
right. It's like going and seeing a squirrel. It's like, oh,
exactly.
neat.
Yeah.
But you see a lizard over here, you're like, oh shit, look, a lizard. You go to Florida, they're like, yeah, dude, lizards, duh.
Dude, that is fucking sick that you did stand, for people who don't know, you did stand up in German there.
Yeah.
Is there,
see? Proof.
I feel like I asked you this, but I forget. Is your family German, or did you just pick it up because you were interested in it?
We like.
Yeah, how far back does your racism go? How long has your family hated Jews? Let me rephrase. Yeah, to that.
Dude, we love you.
That's the real reason we got Paul on the cast. Like, where does this stem?
Where does it start?
You're a good German.
That's all I've ever wanted. But yeah, we just lived there when I was little, unrelated to like our heritage, just because my dad got a job there. So like, when I had a chance to go back, I was like, fuck yeah, just gonna do that and still be a good boy and be good and like Jews, no matter what they tell me.
What age did you live there?
1 to 4, and then 7 to 11.
Damn. So German was like one of your first languages. Well, I guess there's only 2, but I guess you learned English first because I was in the household. But
so it'd be like your second out of 2, right?
Yeah, but I know how to laugh in French.
But it felt like, did your parents learn it too, or did you just learn it from going to school and stuff?
Honestly, we were all really, really shitty at it. Like, I went after preschool, I went to all American schools and stuff. So we never really learned it too well. Like, I know how to get by just from like hanging out with kids in the neighborhood, but I didn't learn it fully until college and then going back to solidify it. So like,
that's so interesting that there's like American schools. I don't know, like in other countries, because I had a friend who had a similar situation. He lived in like Hong Kong growing up for a little bit because his dad worked there, because men get jobs.
No, they do.
Yeah, like he had a,
don't take that back, dude. They seriously, men do get jobs, and that's
true.
That's
but he had a similar situation where like he went to an American school in Hong Kong, but I feel like they don't really have as much of that here.
Yeah, I guess it's just places where we won wars and stuff because it was like a military school. So like there's still just a bunch of bases there.
We had a German
okay.
kid come to. I just remembered we had a German kid come to us and play lacrosse for our school for like 2 years.
Was he good or did he suck?
Yeah, his name was Enrique. He was fucking sick.
Wait.
He came for lacrosse and was
He
just
went to
German.
Marlton to pursue lacrosse.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. I mean, that's how weird. Like, how small lacrosse is. Like, it's big. Well, we were playing like, I don't know. He should have went to a different school, but our school was like on the states that year. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking state. I mean, I just sat in the bench and got tested for steroids.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Who is
I
this
feel
like fucking German kid named Enrique who plays lacrosse? Like, what jumble of like Mad Libs is that?
Yeah, it was bizarre. He looked like a German version of Justin Bieber, even more German, like kind of scary version.
the baby. Ooh.
Yeah, it was funny. He didn't know.
Did they even say "z"? I don't think, dude. I fucking suck ass at accents.
No, I like when you do the accents. It's funny. I never get close either. It's even fun. But people, you know which one I'm going for.
Right.
So Enrique was cool. Yeah.
They did steroid tests for you in high school though? That's crazy. Like did you have to like piss in a cup in front of people and stuff?
Yeah, kind of. Like they made me. I went to like some one of the bathrooms there, and there was a dude there just making sure I didn't like fucking have fake pee or anything, which would be weird because it was random drug. It was a random.
He puts his
drug
finger in
test.
it, licks it. He's like,
yeah, like there's no need for him to go in there. Like there's no need for him to go in there because like would I have like how would I have known? Like it's fucking high school lacrosse. Like what do you think?
I always keep that thing on me.
I have a burner phone. They're coming. I'm like, who's here? Get the fake piss. Like there is no need. I think this guy just actually wanted to see my. He might have not have been allowed to do that. Now I'm thinking about it. But regardless, yeah. I was very tiny back then. There was no need for me to even take the test. I might have just been molested. It's more of talking about it, but whatever, you know.
Yeah. Well, you kind of give that vibe.
What, that I've been molested or whatever?
Yeah. No, not really.
Get off I don't give off I'm a molested.
No, you don't give that vibe. I'm just goofing, dude.
Who knows, dude? Yeah.
Goofs and gags.
Paul, I might be off on this, but in high school, were you a track and field guy? Track and field or soccer?
Soccer.
Oh,
good call.
Let's go, dude. Soccer rips.
Good Paul call. That's what.
Better call Paul.
That's what we call when you call it Paul. When you call out Paul for what he likes. It's a Paul call.
Facts. Yeah. Did you were you like really into it, or you're just like, this is just the thing I'm doing?
I was more into baseball, but I got cut from that, and then after I got cut, I was like, oh, it was like soccer anyway, and that became the thing.
Gotcha. What were you were you like always into stand up and shit, or did that come like after you graduated?
That came at 16. I knew I wanted to do it, but like didn't know how or like what to do. So I waited till I was like 18. Basically, it started out like I would just like obsess about like posting as many jokes as possible on Twitter, which I got when I was 16. And then like I'd see the show at midnight. Do you guys remember that show where people would that kind of like was the logical bridge between Twitter and stand up, and then like at 18 started doing giggles in Northeast Philadelphia.
Ooh. Did you have any issues like getting into places because of your age, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been kicked out of a few places. I remember I went to Raven when I was like 18 with my dad, and he came in and like they made him sign a waiver and me sign a waiver, and I got to go up like really, really early because they just wanted me in and out of there as quickly as possible. So I went up, got my voice cracks in, and got off stage pretty much.
Damn, that's super sick of your dad though.
Yeah, it was. My parents were really, really supportive about it. Like especially early on, like my mom would go to this place in Northeast Philly, and like people would she would be like the only audience, and people would just kind of latch onto her and just like,
oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
your poor
just
fucking mother.
just tell like half drunk like rape jokes with like eye contact with my mom. So she was a trooper. So like,
damn, I had no idea. That's fucking wild, actually.
Yeah. Paul,
Yeah,
you should have fought every single comic that did that.
That's kind of cool though that your parents actually know what that world is like though, because my parents ask about it and like they'll suggest like jokes, and I'm like, you have no idea what this is like.
Yeah, yeah. They might even be right, but it just like I'm like, listen, you don't even pretend like you know.
You don't know me.
Yeah, or I'll once in a while tell my parents just like a brutal joke, and they're like, "Well, don't you think that's a little mean?" And I'm like, "These people are lunatics at these mics. They can handle it." So that's sick that that's sick that your parents know that the lunacy that's going on.
Oh yeah, it was just like like now like.
Does she understand? Does she understand it though? Is she like just baffled every time? Like, what the fuck?
Well, if she's getting eye contact rape jokes.
Yeah, she gets it. Like they were there for like all of the early ones that were just so terrible. Like I would bomb. People would just tell a bunch of like just rape jokes and shit, and like it was a real depressing vibe. But they were there for that, and then like as I started to get better, they would come to less mics and stuff. So like they saw all the shitty stuff and like none of the good stuff, pretty much.
Oh boy, that's yeah. You kind of did that one ass backwards, huh?
Yeah.
I remember Dave Chappelle was saying that when he was 16, like his mom would like drive him the mics and like be at the mics and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then like on the drive home, she would be like, "Pussy jokes weren't really working."
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Like, did they ever like give you notes and shit like on the drive back or something like that, or?
Yeah, sometimes like actually I was watching the Chappelle like Kennedy Center honors thing or whatever where he told that story, and like my mom was in the room. She's like, I know what that's like, because like literally the drive back would just be like, okay, that was, I know you're doing your thing, and it's like you have to figure out this art form, but that you're a bad person. Like, no, she never said that. They were always really supportive, but like you could tell when something wasn't her favorite.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want your parents to like your comedy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like but like to their credit, like my parents were like always, like my mom and dad were always like really good with like me saying, like they had never heard me say fuck before I went on stage before, and that was like a fun little transition. But like, yeah, they have different sensibilities.
Damn, you have cool ass parents.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But did you grow up with like I guess from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like they were that strict, but
it was like just kind of like they were stricter like with like hanging out and stuff. Like I couldn't just be like out. It was always like be back by a certain time. Like they were very strict with like alcohol and drugs and stuff, which I think was why like I was in.
Finish your alcohol and all your drugs or no dessert.
Don't come back before 1. But like, yeah. So it was like strict on some things, but like things that we cared about, like 100% freedom on that. So it was cool balance.
That's cool, man. Like I kind of grew up similar. Like my parents were like super strict about like curfews, drugs, and shit like that. Like I remember because I'm still living at my parents, but when I turned 21, like my mom was so weird about me like drinking with my friends in my house. She was like, because she was so in that mode of just telling me not to do that. Like it took so long, and sometimes she still gives me shit about it. It's wild. but also she's Jewish. You didn't grow up that you grew up the opposite. Just culturally German.
Just because they hate you doesn't mean they grow up opposite. Yeah.
I get. Yeah, this is a classic. This is a classic. I guess we're not that different after all.
We are the same, Rob.
I had a Bristol. Do your German asking. Oh, never mind.
We put on our uniform one leg at a time, just like each other.
we gonna just cut the tip, yeah?
Just a little off the top. I'm like a barber.
Yeah. But we were talking about that a little while back.
Oh, yeah.
What,
Moil
Jewish barbers or penis barbers or African kings who got their daughters fucked? Like what?
The
A little bit of all that.
Yeah, the barber moils. The weenie Todd.
Yeah. They just slit the tops off and they slide down the back of the hatch into the and they're turned into, what is it, pies or something? Screws.
Oh yeah.
Just eating foreskin pies. No, dude. I mean, actually, foreskin kind of looks like the crust of a pie.
Yeah, 100%.
Like a really tiny pie. So
I'm just picturing
penis,
like
it's
you're
a penis
pulling it over
pie.
the top of the pie like a swim cap and just like.
That's how I put on my condoms. Just kidding. I don't wear those. Come on. They're pointless. Oh man.
Dude, one thing I wanted to talk about because I'm like discovering it a little more. If you're down to talk about it, I could cut it out. But I know you brought up on Silly Boy Fun Time that you have OCD, which
undiagnosed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like
mine's like
mine's like pseudo diagnosed as well because I didn't go to a psychiatrist, but like my therapist like read off all the symptoms and I checked off like 95% of the boxes. So I'm like, but I'm curious, like how does it like manifest for you?
When I was little, it was a lot more. Like now, it's just casual shit that like always gotta walk like left foot, left foot, like always multiples of 4s or whatever. But like when I was little, it was like all the like it was scarier. It was like I couldn't be around knives because it was like just intrusive thoughts and shit like that, which sounds like creepy as a kid.
Yeah.
Just like running around and shit. But I remember when I was little, like every single night, this is one of the more like silly ones. Before I would go to bed, just from my room, it was probably annoying as hell, but I would have to yell to each member of my family, like, good night, see you in the morning, I love you, to every single person individually in English and German. And I bet my parents were probably just like, shut the hell up.
I would just smother you, dude. Every night?
Yeah.
Every single night, like just not even directed at them. It would just be like from my room, just like for like 5 minutes going through my rounds. Like military plays taps at the end of the day. I'd be like, good night, Mom. Yeah. Guten Nacht, Mom. Sleep a dish.
I had to do exactly 9 Heil Hitlers or else I thought my dog was going to die.
If I had a child and then they were doing shit like that every night and then at some point told me, hey, I had like this weird obsession with wanting to grab a knife, you know, I would be like, all right, you're going away, or I'm taking you to the like. I'm gonna have to
shake that baby, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to let. It depends how young you are, but yeah, I might have to Lenny from Mice and Men. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look at the lake, Paul. Look at the lake.
So it's not always good to talk about your emotions. Sometimes you should hide this.
Yeah.
If you have an unstable parent like me, I'm gonna fucking put you out of your misery.
Well, dude, I hope you don't
out of self-defense
the wrong way. But when I watched like your comedy and then I found out that you had OCD, I was like, that makes sense.
It makes fucking it does make sense. Like
I don't mean it in a bad way at all.
Oh no, I am like I'm not sensitive about it at all. Right? Yeah, I'm not sensitive. But no.
He says that 3 times.
Not sensitive. But yeah, literally every set, like I'll that makes sense. I'll like drill it. Like I'll repeat it over and over until like I get it down and memorized or whatever. But
yeah,
that makes sense
like,
actually.
and it's like with your economy of words, like everything is like so particular, and I feel like it's all like because a part of OCD is like you kind of it's like almost like a control thing, and it seems like planning out like it's very particular tags, punches, and it's like you want to like control like where it goes in a way. I could be projecting here, but
no, that is 100% accurate. Like honestly,
100%. Good. That's put that on your fucking fridge, dude. Paul Carson.
100.
That's good.
Yes, dude. That's real good.
You should start giving out stickers for whatever. Like, dude, nailed it. And it's fucking Paul Carson 100%. All right,
that's 98% accurate, dude.
Oh fuck.
Moted. But yeah, a lot of it is just like if you repeat like the whole set like 5 times in a row, you start to realize like which words just feel extra because you're tired of saying them. Like, okay, I can drop that, and then eventually it just compresses to like only the shit you need, pretty much.
Yeah, and I've been interested about like comics where you can like not that it feels overly scripted or anything like that, but when you're watching it, like you're like this is very planned, written out. Like on stage, like I could like picture you like really like slaving over it, and then there's the other way where people can just go up there and just riff. And you could probably riff as well, but like, and both are great, but it's just different styles, and it's interesting to me to see how different people attack that shit, you know?
Like, Cody, I know I've told you this, but like from watching you, I've been like, that's been like my #1 teacher in trying to like learn how to tell stories on stage and shit. Like, how do you go about that? Just like the first time going up and just like, do you just let it fly and see where people laugh? Or, like, how does that work?
Yeah, well, I mean, usually like I don't even know what type of story it's gonna be. Like I'll tell it to friends. Like it'll be something that happened, and I'll start telling it to people, and then I usually just take it to stage as pretty kind of like without anything to it, and then just kind of like just build jokes around it. I don't know. It's kind of just go back and pick it out. For some reason, like writing after a story when I have like a joke that wraps it around makes it easier for me to tell a story because I can like tell things more confidently, like knowing that like at the end it's a callback.
Okay,
but
I see.
Yeah, I kind of just kind of riff it, and then like just each time I tell it, keep the shit that gets like a consistent laugh, and then add more and try stuff differently, and just keep doing it. Just have fun telling a story, you know?
Right. Yeah. Just the thought of doing that scares the shit out of me. Like
put a finger up your butthole and just get up there, and just tell us, and just have a jolly good old time.
Yeah. Just joysticking yourself.
If you like have like something to go, like a few jokes lined up, like, and just to keep the ball rolling, it'll give you some more confidence, and then it'll free you up to get somewhere you never thought you'd end up. You can get laughs places that you didn't know existed, and like experiment with it. But it is kind of like when you do it for like the first few times and just like go up. And that's like any time you go up with like unprepared shit, you're like, there's a good chance that I look like a fucking idiot up here.
Well, I really.
But once you stop caring about that, then it's game
you're
over.
Good.
Yeah, it's like you comment like, as long as you're able to tell when you're a dumb idiot on stage and go, I know, I fucking know. Sorry.
As long as you're doing it with self-awareness, you're good. Like, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scares the shit out of me.
I'm interested in how people's writing styles reflect like a deeper. I could be overthinking it of like who they are as a person. Like Cody, like the shit you say on stage is fucking rips. But it's interesting because I kind of pin you as like a dude who like you throw yourself in the deep end and then figure it out. And I feel like that kind of. And like that's just who you are as a person, and that's also how you write. So I find that kind of shit like interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of that is kind of how it works, and that's kind of how like that's how I like learn how to swim.
Yeah.
I had
Like-
16 brothers who died doing the same shit.
Yeah, it's like we were just like turtles don't always make it.
Yeah. Like when you're a kid, you're learning how to swim. Just in the, they just throw you in the deep end, and the instructor's like, "So you're gonna want to paddle."
You lost another one. We should probably let them wait at least till they're 2 years old.
We should teach them how to speak first so they know what paddle means.
Yeah.
But no,
I can't even, like, and I feel like this reflects my personality. I can't even try something on stage unless I call a bunch of friends and get a chuckle from it first, and then I have to edit it even more and then try it.
Right. Yeah, I like the element of surprise. But that's interesting to but I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I get someone's thought on it before I go tell it on stage, I feel like it's now stale, especially if I told it to somebody that's already in the crowd for some reason. It's like the fact that I know that they know me. I don't know why that makes it worse. Like when I tell a joke, but I
get that too. Yeah, like you feel uncomfortable. Like say you found like the funny in something in a conversation with someone. I feel weird if I use that on stage because it's just like
right.
Remember?
Yeah, especially if I didn't remember to be like, yo, by the way, I'm gonna use that. Your conversation. You didn't have any. I did all the funny parts. I'm just letting you know.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be talking about our conversation. Don't get in your head think that you had anything to do with that joke. All right? I did all the work.
Yeah, I'm very the opposite. Like, I'm very big on like external approval, so I need the proof first.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd be you'd be the scientist that actually had data to back it up, and I'd be the one I'm pretty sure this is it, you know.
But then you're more likely to cover something that's more authentic to you because you're just like in that
I'm more
flow
likely
state.
to. I think I'm more likely to have this illusion that I know what I'm talking about, and people will be like, "Oh, okay." It's because I do it with the confidence of I know this will work, even though I've never told anybody, and it probably doesn't.
Like that's why I love Bill Burr, because like he just talks with like confidence, and then he's just like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
It is fun to have such crazy opinions, and then also have be able to defend them for any amount of reason, and then just out of nowhere be like, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because I have a thing where even if someone is in my mind wrong, if they're just out there selling their point and selling it good, then I'm just I gotta respect it.
Yeah. There's been plenty of times where people have convinced me of stuff that I don't agree with. I still don't now, but I've been in that moment, I was like, I finally see it your way, you know? I never thought I would see it your way. And then later I'd be like, damn it, dude, you totally fucking, you don't see it that way.
Yeah.
Rob, with songwriting and stuff, did you have to do the same thing? Would you go up to friends and just be like, what do you think of la 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 la? And then just see how it went? Or
Nah, he would just do that to strangers on the street.
I mean, what I would normally do is I would a lot of writing for me is just writing a beat and then singing gibberish over it for a while, and then and then I'll record the gibberish, and then I do send it to a bunch of friends. I'm like, does this
What
suck?
kind of gibberish? For back I shit in my hand, I throw it at a human, know what I mean? Yeah, like that.
Dude, it's to be honest, it's not that far off from it. For Back to the Wall, I sent my friends demos where I was just like,
And you didn't know what the words were gonna be at all.
No. And then I was like, is this catchy? Because the way I look at it, I'm like, melodies first and then lyrics later. Because if I just
crazy, because I always thought it was around the lyrics. That's crazy to learn.
No, because in my mind, I'm like, if the lyrics came first, I would just do fucking poetry.
Right. Yeah, you'd be more of a Jim Morrison, just up there showing your dick off to people.
Exactly. And I ain't got the dick for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. You sure you do. Come on.
Oh, thanks.
You'd be the comedian that does that.
Oh, little dick out, little Bobby Lee.
Yeah. That's
come on.
funny though, dude. I didn't know that you went from the. Oh wow. Did you at least? You didn't have.
That sounds like that Kid Rock song.
Boom, dang, dang,
You just never wrote the words.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, dude,
He did the same thing. It's like that's it.
That's how a lot of people wrote. Like that's like Yesterday by the Beatles. Like when they were writing that song, it was scrambled eggs instead of yesterday. They were
Really?
writing it. Yeah, they're like scrambled eggs. And like they figured that out, and then they're like, all right, let's write lyrics now, because they're like, if this isn't catchy, then it's not really worth writing words to.
Yeah, that's wild.
Cotton Eye Joe. It's
What?
just like Cotton Eye Joe. Like, what are those?
They probably wrote it like
that's
that. It sounds like they did.
That's just the dude getting kicked in the shin by a midget. Come on, Joe. He been burned a long time ago. But he keeps kicking me in the fucking shins.
Yeah. The midget like kicked him, ran away. It's like, where did you come from? Where did you go?
Yo, I have a crazy story. I have a crazy story about a midget. So my nieces live with me, and there's like a neighborhood midget.
Everyone has one.
Right, yeah. Well, he's like a little bit older than them. And he came over.
He's the hide and go seek correspondent.
They were like, we have like this like cul-de-sac, so there's like a tree where there's like a little tree fort that my neighbor built for the kids, and they're all on it, and like he took the ladder away and always was like fucking with them. So I think like one of my nieces was like, yo, fuck you, and he's like, I'll rape you and I'll murder your whole family.
Pranked.
Oh, so their neighbor So their neighbor was Chucky.
Basically, dude. I think my sister just yelled like my oldest, like it was her kid, so I think she just like screamed at a midget and just told him, and like made sure that he knew what he was.
I admire the ambition, though.
Now I'm terrified, dude. I have knives everywhere in the house. I'm like, dude, if I get murdered, I literally used to. It's funny that you mentioned Chucky. I have like this weird doll that looks like Chucky called Count Davis that my grandma gave me, and it fucking freaks me out. But I can't throw it away because it was like a gift from my grandma. And I used to have nightmares about Chucky every night, about him stabbing my chair and cutting open my ball sack, and they leaked out everywhere. And Chucky would, and then I'd be like, "Fuck, Chucky, what did you do that for?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." I'm like, "What? Just kill me? Why do you cut my balls off?"
I'm picturing like the James Bond movie where they got him sat in a chair and just like they're swinging that rope at his balls.
That reminds me of this friend I had in high school. He was like a pastor's son, and he kept talking about this thing he called the surgery, where he would like cut your chest open and then put his balls in it and then sew you back up.
That's like an advanced teabag.
Yeah. He would always like say like weird shit where we're like, Dave, you might be gay. Like, that's fine, dude. But he was like a pastor's son. Like, he joked with our one friend. Let's call him Dave. And he was like, Dave, what if I just like put my dick in your ass, got hard, and peed?
I realize that's pretty gay.
Or like that would be hilarious.
I'd be impressed that like he thinks that he would be able to hold somebody down and get a flaccid penis in an unwilling person, then get it hard, and then pee. It's a weird combo.
It's the only way you'll see my degree.
like the homosexualness aside, that just seems like a tough thing to do. You know, I don't think you'd be able to. He just sounds like he's saying ridiculous things.
Like we wet spaghetti through the eye of a pin.
I think we can all agree he didn't think it through.
Yeah, this guy is nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they had a house next to the church where the pastor dad. And,
that's Pastor Dad's house.
Yeah, and it was funny because like I was a Jew. They were surprisingly cool about it. Presbyterians are cool. Like I remember
they're surprisingly cool with my religion. Not bad.
Like I remember going to like their youth group and they would play games. I'm like, these games rock. and
What
then
kind of games like Red Rover, dude?
yeah, like dodgeball and shit like that. And then and then they would talk about God for a second. I remember there was one moment where I was like, you know what, fair play, because I was just being a little fucking dick. They were talking about God, and I'm like, well, didn't like just dudes write the Bible? I was like, how do we know they didn't take like liberties with it, you know? And like this was like in front of like all the kids they were like teaching God about too, and then the guy was just like very cool about it. He was like, you know what, like,
fuck you.
A lot of people. He's like, you know what, you're getting raped for that. But he was
shoes. This is why you hate your religion.
Yeah, he's like, I knew you were a fucking Jew.
I knew you were a gay Jew.
But he was like, you know what? There are questions like that, but we just choose to believe. He was like, that's it. We just have faith in it, and that's basically it. And I was like, you know what? Fair play to you. I was like, I couldn't really say much to it.
Fair play.
Yeah. And then my friend gave me a Bible to take home, and then I just ran up to my dad with the Bible like held up, and then I just put my hand on his head and started vibrating it.
Just turned him into a Christian. Dude, that would have been crazy though if you would have been able, like, instead of like a flash mob, you get like a bunch of kids to like take that camp, or what was it, camp or something?
No, it was just like a weekly youth group that they did.
Okay, yeah, and you plan to like say that, and then as soon as you say that, everyone else in the group starts like they make out with someone in the same sex as that, like the like gay version. They also like you ask that question, like, what if it was just made up, and everyone just looks at each other, and all the dudes start making out with each other, and all the girls start letting out. They'd be like, I think the guy would be like, oh my god, and then like you just had snakes in your book bag, you just started throwing them all over.
The force field is down. Go.
Yeah, what if you did that?
That would be sick. Like the dude teaching it, he's like, finally starts whacking it.
That's what I knew they would say that this might happen.
Yeah, Christ gone wild.
Yeah, you think they have like undercover Satan undercover priest, like like in the Departed, but for heaven and earth.
Dude, this is what I was talking about with your writing style. You were like, they have undercover Satanists, and then you're just like, well, now I got to figure this out.
Yeah, I figured it out. I figured it out.
Show.
Yeah, so think of the Departed, the Departed, but instead it's like earth, it's heaven and hell. They like one of the dudes is faking the thing, and then the other one's faking the other way, but they're both faking it some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing an episode of Undercover Boss where the boss is like obviously Satan.
Then he has like a performance review.
So, what do you think about God? What do you think?
He's at like a Best Buy. He's just like in the uniform. He's like, so God's pretty fucking gay, right?
What do you guys think about God? No, you guys don't talk. What?
And then he's just like, Junior Deputy Satan, everyone freeze. But yeah, we're at a little over an hour, so.
All right, bye.
I'm trying to be more cognizant of the time.
No, I feel you.
But yeah, Paul, you got anything to plug, my man?
You want to show your penis or anything? What do you say?
Hell yeah.
Any
plug my penis.
Any body parts? Anything. You can plug anything you want right now. You take this time.
This little weenus right here.
Oh, look at that.
The brown furry penis.
When does this when do you think this podcast is gonna come out?
Next week.
Okay. Well, next week, I guess I'll plug. I'm gonna be on an episode of What Up with Rob and Cody.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, look out for that.
And that's literally all I have going on, dude. That's it.
I'm gonna
check out Silly Boy Fun Time and
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then also too, Are you you're posting those like like skits and shit to Instagram, right?
I'm being a sketch boy. I'm gonna post them on YouTube and stuff. I filmed one this past Saturday that I'm editing this week. It took place. I felt I don't want to stretch the time too much longer. It felt weird. I was basically, the premise of this sketch is you know how like in like Viagra or Cialis commercials, there's like a dude always just like biking through the forest for some reason.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
always.
The premise of this sketch is just like, what if that guy got lost in the woods? And I was looking for like woods to film in, and all the woods in my town are like directly behind elementary schools, so I had to be real careful when filming that shit. Like it, real dangerous.
That's it. What's your YouTube channel?
Oh, I haven't made it a good like thing that you can search yet. Now it's just like a bunch YouTube / like AEX10T. What's up?
You can probably find it from your Instagram, right? What's your handle on the Instagram?
Oh yeah, silly_boy_Paul.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Follow the Paul poop man.
Yeah.
Paul Bunyan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Paul covered in bunions.
Let's go.
It's not for feet anymore. It's everywhere.
What about you, Code Man?
Nothing. Right. Cody. And Instagram or whatever.
Hell yeah. Follow me on Instagram at Rob Cruz Comedy. I'm starting a little weekly 1-minute segment called Attention Horse. So look out for that.
It's funny because horse and horse are very close in sound.
Yo.
So I like the fun of that.
What are you in my head? So check that out. Rate and review, you idiots. and shout out to the real ones.
This has been a DropTent Media production.